is NAB Show Live.
Good morning. You're watching NAB Show Live, brought to you by Broadcast Beat. I'm your host, Debra Kaufman. We've got a really interesting panel on plugins in TV post-production, something that I think gets overlooked a lot, but we're going to delve into its mysteries in just a second or two. I have a great panel with me. Directly to my right is Eran, who's a motion designer with his own company, Stern Effects, correct?
That's correct.
And next to him is Pierre Jasmin, who's the owner of Revision Effects. Is that how you pronounce it, Pierre? And next to him is Mazze Anderhold, who is the owner of a company called Angry Face. Are you going to make an angry face? And is also your support for Assimilate as well, correct? Which
Exactly.
is great. Excellent. So I know that before the show, we talked a little bit about how TV post can be, all post in general, especially with visual effects, can be really complicated because gone are the days where one facility would do all the visual effects for a program. The effects are everywhere. So talk a little bit about what are your challenges as facility owners and users of these effects tools in working on TV post?
Yeah, I think that most of it is expectations. It's like great expectations by Charles Dickens. I mean, clients expect to get results as they're seeing in the movie. So sometimes they will tell me, I want it to look like a Disney movie. So Disney is just like owning everybody now. I can just say, make it like a Disney or a Pixar movie or a Marvel movie. And they don't understand the amount of work that needs to be put into these kind of levels. So people have they know how to judge stuff. They have a lot of experience because everybody goes to the movies. We're all watching those blockbusters. They don't realize how much work it involves. Like every movie, we have like almost 15 minutes of credit at the end because tons of people are working.
Right.
Sometimes they are expecting that just one-man show will be able to deliver the same results.
Yes.
So there are solutions. There are like cheats and fakes that you can achieve something which is very close to, but I think this is the most challenging part. It's more of a narrative thing, although of course technicality is a big thing here. But we're getting close. It's amazing that now these days, a man with like one-man show, a man with a computer, a desktop computer, or sometimes a couple of them can really achieve close results to what we are seeing from the big gun.
Right. I presume, do you teach Revision?
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about that. What do you love about it?
Revision have some tools that without them, I think that some of the projects that I did commercially wouldn't be possible. For example, we had a project a year ago for the World Cup football where we needed to, there was a couple of matches each day, and we didn't know which team will win, so we needed to find some way in order to create or dress or wrap the texture, the 3D texture on some models that we did. And we actually used the remap tool. This is a UV map tool which will allow you to take textures and wrap them in After Effects after the fact. So you basically are rendering a UWV?
UV,
right?
yeah.
UVW, maybe I'm getting the letters the wrong order, but it's basically an XYZ coordinates for materials. And then this plugin, which is amazing, can just take a flat, let's say flag, and wrap it around whatever object. So in our case, it was a babushkas, so I think matrushkas is always the Russian.
The Russian dolls?
Yeah, the Russian doll.
Right.
And we've managed to just do it in no time. So instead of bring everything back to the 3D application, which will take us forever, we did everything in After Effects. So the minute that we heard about who are going to compete with who in terms of countries, probably 10 minutes after that, we were ready with the graphics for the next match.
It's actually a workflow that's a lot used in television right now because it allows the computer graphics animation to be done one time. So there's spots in the thing, then you can change dynamically. So a lot of sports network or and things like that. So all the teams, you can change just the team's picture, the team name, the score, and it just re-render quickly over the 3D animation, whatever elements need to change in the scene, something like that.
Yeah, it's brilliant because you are like confirming to the same color scheme, to the same design theme, and the only thing that you do is just to switch, basically use the pull-down menu to choose another source.
So it sounds very, very useful.
Super useful.
Are there other ways you're using revision plugins?
Sure, there's another tool from them, Real Smart Motion Blur, RSMB. So they've got two versions. The regular one, which is like, adding faux motion blur in post, it was like my to-go tool for years, but they also offer a pro version. And this version actually uses a pass from a 3D, so you just need to tick this when you are rendering multi-passes, which kind of work basically on the same idea. So it's rendering the speed, the velocity with colors. And then this plugin can take this input, and then when you are in post, you can determine the amount of motion blur that you need to add to the shot. If you are going to do it in the 3D environment, you will bring your computers on its knees. It will be a very slow thing.
It's not just speed, it's also sometimes in compositing, you want to adjust that in context.
Yeah, the amount. Like, you can art direct the shot, you can determine where, and you can also keyframe motion blur, which is, I know, faking reality, but this is like absolute control. It's super great.
And it's really the kinds of solutions people need, it needs to be.
Yeah. Once you find it, it's a godsend. You can't like go back. It's like air conditioning. You can't live without it once you have it at least turned on once. Yeah.
Well, what about you, Mazze? Tell me a little bit about your plugin experiences.
Well, the challenges in finishing and grading are much more basic, actually. Simple things like retiming or denoising are good examples for the usage of plugins in a finishing application like scratches. When it comes to conforming, first of all, it gives the artist the option to be able to do the same effects using the exact same tool in his finishing system that the editor has been using in his NLE. So there's not like two different kinds of algorithms that might produce different results. No, it's the same. You can recreate the exact effect. On our side as developers, it's obviously a good thing to be able to rely on plugins from Revision FX, like for instance Twixtor. I don't know, Twixtor retiming, how old is that algorithm?
Well, we keep on evolving it.
That's exactly the point. I think you've spent like, 20 years on improving that algorithm? We have, as developers, really no interest to reinvent the wheel, and spend 20 years of our lives doing it. So we can focus our resources on other aspects of the software.
Excellent. That's really great. Do you use other aspects of Revision?
Yes, denoising is also a great plugin to use in Scratch because it's a fabulous algorithm which is really top-notch and gives our users the best denoising out there.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. You've been watching NAB Show Live. This is Debra Kaufman, your host. Come back again for some more NAB Show Live, brought to you by Broadcast Beat.